All right. Okay. Now, in this one, okay, let me just present this one. Okay. Now, for your gender and society, okay, so our first lesson is about gender sensitivity and awareness. I know that's very vague and general, but that's really fine because we will just have an introduction about the course itself. Okay, so basically, okay, the goals of the gender and society class is to gain deeper, understand the importance of gender equality in all spheres of development. Okay, and then number two is to standing on the concept of gender and development and on how gender roles affect relationships between men and women in the society. Okay, so generally, the number one goal of gender society is to really understand, okay, the effects of the society towards the gender and how gender has an impact and how was it molded from the society itself. Okay, this is not just all about imposing equality, okay, or giving the right boundaries to respect or restrictions to not cross off, but it's going to be really more on understanding the whole concept of why there is such thing as G11 or gender and society. Okay, now of course, for those of you who don't know this, gender and development or GAD is a program, not really just a program but an advocate as well, advocacy should I say. It focuses on the socially constructed basis of difference between men and women and emphasizes the need to challenge existing gender roles and relations. Okay, now when you say socially constructed, okay, just to give you a more specific detail about the term socially constructed. Okay, so it means that from the word constructed, construction, okay, making, okay, building through social, okay, from the word itself, socially constructed. It means that a person, okay, is being constructed by how he or she is exposed to her or his proximity zone. Okay, so whatever happens in your surrounding, okay, or whatever is your relationship to other people, it is also a good basis to construct your own identity, your own character, even your personality, your behavior, your attitude and mood, and so on and so forth. So focusing on the gender, it could be that socially constructed bases are what the society is expecting from you, or what are the norms and standards of a man and a woman. As what I've said earlier, we will dig in more about this one in our next lessons. Okay, but for now, we will just have a vague or broad idea of what GAD is. Okay, so that is a program to really, okay, impose equality for men and women, not just linguistically or language based, but also on the roles, on the societal hierarchy, and so on and so forth. Okay, all right. So there are two major framework in GAD. Okay, that is gender roles and social and relation analysis. Okay, so I'm sorry, gender roles and social relation analysis. Okay, now for gender roles, it focuses more on the femaleness or maleness of someone. Okay, from the word gender itself. Okay, so how does a male could really act in the society, or how does a female act in a society? Okay, from the word itself again, roles. Okay, what are the roles of a man and a woman, or female and male? Okay, how about for social relation analysis? It's the hierarchy. Okay, in what position can a man or a woman reach? For example, in an organization. Okay, what are their functions, or what are their primary functionalities in the society? So gender roles focuses more on your role as a male and female, okay, something like that. And social relation analysis focuses more on your functions as well, okay, or what could be your hierarchical function in the society as well. All right, okay, now so let's really make um a very good heads up on this one, okay? Because not everyone knows the difference between sex and gender. All right. Okay. So basically, okay, number one, only women can conceive and give birth. Number two, most men are taller than women. Number three, women are more loving and caring. Number four, men are the best chefs. Five, the most important role of a woman or a woman is to become a mother, and so on and so forth. So you can really say that sex is a biological characteristics while gender is a social characteristics. So sex is man and a woman. For sex, it's really more on the biological characteristics. It means that a man has a reproductive system, which is the penis, okay? And while the woman has the reproductive system or organ, which is the vagina. Okay, that is an example of biological characteristic. Okay, so for a woman, they have breast, of course, okay, and for men they have chest, something like that. Okay, so something that was born within you or in you, okay, the assigned sex to you when you were born. Okay, so it's more on the biological, it's really more on the body, on your physiological aspect, while gender is really more on social characteristics. It's either for example, this one, okay, only women can conceive and give birth, so that is biological or sex role. Okay, because that's really true, biologically speaking, only women can give birth. Most men are taller than women. Well, statistically, okay, according to the world research, of course, that's really sex approach there, because that's true. Most of men are really taller than women. Okay, but for number three, women are more loving and caring. Well, that's gender based. Okay, because that is social. Okay, men can also be more loving and caring. That's the point. Okay, men are the best chefs. That is still gender based, because no one was born to be the best chef. Okay, men and women can be both the best chefs. Okay, the most important role of a woman is to become a mother. Personally, I really find it this gender, because there are men who become the father and the mother at the same time, because that's socially constructed role, motherhood, fatherhood. Okay. Number six, women suffer from premenstrual tension. Men do not. That's very sex approach. Okay, because of course, men or women has the only ability to have menstruation, of course. Okay, number seven, men think and act more rationally than women. This is gender based. Okay, because um, women can also think and act more rational than men, of course. Okay, only men can supply sperm for fertilization. This is very sexual based or sex based. Okay, because biologically, man is the only one who can produce sperm for fertilization. Number nine, the most important role of a man is to be a breadwinner. This is very gender based because this is a social constructed role or expectation. A woman can also be a breadwinner at the same time. Okay, men cannot breastfeed babies. This is true. This is very biological. Women are poor managers. This is not true. Okay, not all women and not all men at the same time are poor managers. Everyone can really be a great manager. Everyone can be a poor manager. So this is also socially constructed based. Okay, men's voice break at puberty, women's don't. This is biological. All right, so those 12 examples there or scenarios there are example of how we're going to differentiate sex and gender at the same time. Okay, so of course, sex is more on chromosomes, hormonal profile, internal and external sex organs. While gender is culture-based, traditional-based, socially constructed-based. The characteristics that a society or culture delineates as masculine or feminine. Okay, of course, sex has two main categories, male and female. Remains the same regardless of time and culture because that is highly biological. okay, created by reproduction needs, that is biological features. All right. While gender has two main categories, masculine and feminine. Gender roles expectations may differ across time and culture, and gender distinction are created by social norms. As what I've said, it is really about your external proximity zone, your external environment. But in our communities, we often brand men and women differently. All right. Okay. So again, this is just an introduction of what are the terminologies that we should cross. Okay. What are the terminologies that we should really be aware of? Because when we go deeper, it is gonna be quite easy for all of you to understand the different situations or the different approaches because you already know the basic terms. All right. Okay. So I think that's it. Okay.